So, welcome to this session. My name is Polycarp Baby, and today we're going to look at HTML basics. And before we start our lesson, we're going to call the roll call. If you hear your name, just mute.
Isaiah Isoe.
I'm present.
Boniface Sonwonga.
Present.
Divina Gesare.
Present, sir.
Imelda Mulimba.
Present.
Amolo. Is this guy present?
Is not present, sir.
Noted. So after going through the register, in our previous lesson, we looked at introduction to website programming languages, and we were trying to look at the different programming languages that we looked at. So in our previous lesson, we looked at the various languages. We looked at HTML is one of the languages. We looked at PHP, we looked at CSS, and we looked for SQL. So in today's lesson, we are going to measure into the HTML basics. And at the end of the lesson, as a learner, number one, you should be able to define the term HTML. Number two, you should be able to explain the structure of HTML. And number three, you should be able to understand or explain the common HTML tags. In this case, we look at HTML headings, HTML paragraphs, and HTML links. So to start with, we're going to start with the definition of HTML. So before I give what I have, who can try to give a definition of HTML? What do you understand?
Try. HTML means hypertext markup language.
Nice trial. Another one?
Hi.
Yes, Imelda, give a trial.
Yeah, HTML indeed is a hypertext markup language, which is a standard language used to create and design web pages.
Oh, wow, that's a nice one. Another?
A trial. I can say that HTML can describe the structure of a web page.
Wow, those are nice trials. Now let's look at what I have here. In my end, I have explained HTML as a hypertext markup language. So this markup language, basically it is used for creating web pages. And also it gives us the capability of structuring any web page that you're going to make. And also we can say that HTML, it consists of a series of elements, which the elements are the ones that are going to be used by the browser to display the content. Yeah. So when you talk of browsers, I want you to give me some of the common browsers that you know. What do you normally use as your browser?
Brave.
Brave browser. Thank you. Another?
Let me also give a try. Yeah, we have the Google Chrome.
Thank you. So when you talk of a browser, it is the one that is used to run the HTML contents. Yeah. So some of the examples I've written there, there's Microsoft Edge. Yeah. You can use Mozilla. You can use Safari. Yeah. Okara said Brave browser and many others. So those are the ones that we're going to use to run our HTML. To move on, next, we're going to look at the structure of HTML. Now, in this picture, I've displayed the structure of HTML. Number one, we can start with the doc type HTML, followed by the opening HTML tag. We have the head tag, we have the title tag, and the head tag. We have the body and the closing tag of HTML. So basically, that is the structure of HTML. Now, I want someone to give a trial. So when we say doc type HTML, what comes to your mind?
Yes, I will give a try about that. When I say doc type, from my perspective, I think it means the version of HTML, which is probably HTML5.
Oh, wow, that is a good trial. Okara is really trying. Can we give some good reaction to Okara? Somebody to give some good reaction to Okara. So that is a nice try, Okara. So let us look at what I have here. So with me, I have in case you are wondering what are these. So when you talk of doc type HTML, it is a declaration that it defines that the document is an HTML what? HTML5. So the moment you see that doc type HTML, it means it's at HTML5. Then when you talk of the HTML tag, this is the root element of an HTML page. So that is the root of HTML. Then when you see the head tag, it contains the meta information about the HTML page. So this head tag is the one that is going to be displayed at the browser, at the taskbar of the browser. That is the head that contains the meta information. And the title majorly, it specifies the title of the HTML page. And lastly, the body. The body now is the element that is going to define the document's body and is a container of all the feasible contents. So when you say the feasible contents is the one that you can be able to see in your browser. Examples of the feasible contents that you can see is, for example, the headings, the paragraphs, the images, the hyperlinks. Name them, you can name them, and is a number of lists. Now, let's now look at another basics of HTML. Those are the HTML tags. Now, before I give what I have, who can be able to give me some of the HTML tags he or she knows? Any?
HTML headings.
Thank you, HTML headings. Another one?
HTML image tag.
HTML image tag. Thank you. So let's look at what I have. So allow me to admit some latecomers. Yes, so Morina and Haron, welcome to the session. We are on. So I want to start with the first HTML tag. That is HTML headings. So when you talk of HTML headings, they're just defined by from H1 tag to H6 tag. So when you talk of the H1, it gives the large heading. And also when you talk of the H6, it gives the list heading. Now let's go to the next slide where we are going to look at an example. I've done an example of HTML headings. So we have already seen the structure. So you start with the doc type HTML, you come to the HTML tag, then you open the body. So in the body section, it's where we say that it contains the feasible what? The feasible information. So in this case, I've written, this is a heading starting from H1 to H6. Now, Aaron, I can ask a question. So between H1 and H6, which one is going to be bigger than the other?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Aaron. Go ahead.
H1 is bigger than H6.
Nice. So we say that the H1 is going to give the large heading. So you can see on the right side of your screen, we have, this is the heading being what? Very large. Yeah, this is heading 1. And also at the bottom there, you can see this is heading 6, which is very small. So those are the examples of HTML headings. Now let's look at the HTML paragraphs. And in the HTML paragraphs, basically the HTML paragraphs is defined with a p tag. So any moment in HTML you see a p tag, it defines the HTML paragraphs. And I'm going to give you an example to show the same. Let's combine it with the HTML links. So when we talk of HTML links, they're just defined by the A, yeah, which is it's just like an anchor, yeah. So the A tag defines the link. So if you want to define the destination of the link, you use an attribute, and that attribute is referred to as the href attribute. So now let's look at example to do the same. An example of the same, you can see the HTML paragraph tag, and we said in Echo API, where do you put the paragraph? In the head section or in the body section?
In the body section.
Nice one, Okara. So we said we put it in the body section. Now, as you can see in the body section, I've started opening the tag with a p tag. And the moment you open a tag, you must close it. So as you can see, I have opened the p tag and written, this is a paragraph, and I've closed the paragraph using the closing tag of a paragraph. And I've gone to the second statement. I have opened the tag, then I've written, this is another paragraph, and I've closed the tag. Looking at the paragraph tag, now I want us to look at the HTML link tag. Like, how do we include tags, link tags in HTML? So this is an example to effect the same. As you can see, we've started the doc type HTML. Down there, I'm inserting now what? A tag. And we say that a link tag is defined by the A tag. So you open the A, then you include the attributes. We said the attribute href to give more information about the link. I've inserted the link https www.douglas.africa, and then you close the A tag, then you close the body. So on your right side, you can see there's HTML links. Then if you can click that place that has been written, this is a link, you can move, it takes you to www.douglas. So that is it. So that is all about today's content. And I want to give you an assignment. I've displayed the assignment on the screen. You can note down the assignment. But before that, anybody who has a question, that is the assignment. You go and write a simple HTML program. You display the following statements: hello world, and this is my first HTML program. Then you write a HTML program to insert a link. So that is all for today's lesson, unless someone has a question. So in the next class, we're going to look at HTML images.